You are Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Just going final 7-2. It's the Dodgers put away their fifth consecutive. Will Smith had a night. So did Gavin Stone. 4 home runs in all. And all is well. I'm Pete Fox, host of the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. We come on right after the game, and we give you our thoughts, share our insight on the game. I've been covering sports in LA dating back to 2007. I've worked for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio, among others. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince, who do the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. They, of course, will be on here shortly, if not no later than tomorrow morning. Again, 7-2 the win, 5th in a row for the Dodgers. Ohtani goes deep, 4 home runs in all, which is really nice to see. Gavin Lux thrilling the family members, the friends and family that were there at America's First Family Miller Park, whatever it's called now. I usually try to give the appropriate amount of respect to the sponsors of a stadium because they pay a boatload of money for it. But in this particular situation, I find it sacrilegious that it's not Miller Park anymore. I don't understand how that happened. I don't understand how Miller Park let that go. You know, it just makes no sense. I mean, that was the most logical sponsorship really in the history of sponsorships. And now it's named after some insurance company. So I still have to call it Miller Park. I'm sorry. There's a few others. I still call Staples Center occasionally. I try to do crypto, but I forget all the time. I still call the Cleveland Indians the Indians every now and then. Getting better about that one. But this one, Miller Park, don't know that I'll ever call it American Family whatever first. So Shohei Ohtani went deep tonight. Gavin Lux went deep in front of friends and family. Will Smith kind of getting back on track, a triple shy of the cycle. He led things off with a home run. And Andy Pajes yanked one down the line. Not a very pretty swing. Off balance, throwing his weight all over the plate, caught it out in front, but a home run is a home run, making up for his suspect defense in the outfield, which happened early. Unfortunately, did not affect the Dodgers in any way, shape, or form. 7-2 the final. They're now 71-49. Brewers fall to 67-51. Ohtani 1 for 5 on the night. Mookie Betts continuing to roll after returning from the IL. 2 hits tonight. Freddie Freeman, a pair of hits. We can go up and down the lineup. Everyone got a hit tonight. That's another shining star moment of this game, that everybody got a hit. Teoscar with a hit and a run scored. Gavin Lux, the home run, 2 RBI, average now at 242. Will Smith, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored and an RBI. Miguel Rojas, a hit and a run scored. Kike, an RBI on a sac fly, and then a base hit late in the game when it was already put away. And as I mentioned, Pajes, the home run. Kiermaier came in to play some defense late in the game as they pulled Pajes out. Shohei Ohtani, home run yesterday and today. Mookie Betts yesterday with the home run, no HR today. But what was interesting about yesterday's game, they both had a home run and a stolen base. That one kind of slipped by. I didn't quite catch that yesterday. And that's the first time that's happened since 2017. But I think Gavin Stone really probably the other high point of this game, that he went 5 solid, because he's this guy that has really good stuff. Obviously, he's a youngster, but he has a problem the second and third times through the lineup. The opposition really starts to figure Gavin Stone out. So tonight it was better, getting the win, first win since June third or something, going 5, allowing 1 run on 3 hits for win number 10 and 6 strikeouts. Did a pretty good job of mixing it up. He had good command, slider with some run. That first strikeout, when he threw that slider, I was like, was that a 2-seamer? Was that a screwball? What was that? Because it had run on a right-handed hitter, which you don't normally see from a slider. It's usually going the other way, breaking away from a right-handed hitter. So that was kind of cool. I don't know if he intended that to happen, or sometimes these guys do weird things with their fingers and the snap of the wrist. And it does, unexpected stuff. And it appeared that's what happened there, but it looked good enough for the strike. Then he had a couple of changes that one of them bounced and struck a guy out. It had so much drop on it, pulling the string, if you will. And then struck out the side in the 4th with 4 seamers, one after the other, 4-seamer, 4-seamer, 4-seamer. So I have to feel that Gavin Stone is rounding into form again. I don't know that this is something that he can keep up. As I said, he's got to find some length. I don't know how exactly you go about doing that. Mix up the pitch command of what you are relying on. What this is your number 1, your number 2, number 3, add another pitch. This is just something you get with experience. The more you pitch, the more you play. It makes him a deeper pitcher with more tools. Because right now, they start to figure him out as he goes into the second and third time through the rotation. So things get scary at that point. And I guess honorable mention really for Landon Knack. We could give credit to a lot of people with this decision that they put Landon Knack in there and he finished the game. 4 innings. That's like a start for a guy like Landon Knack. Fantastic there. So gets the save because he went 4, allowed 1 run on 3 hits while striking out 2. I thought that was a very nice move by Dave Roberts and the Dodger coaching staff to say, hey, go out there and finish it. They're up 5, but we've seen them blow that before. So it wouldn't have been all that surprising to say, Evan Phillips, maybe you could go out there and close this one down. You need to keep getting more confidence and whatnot. And by the way, I need to mention something that I don't know that anybody caught yesterday. It took me a couple runs through to catch it, but I referred to Evan Phillips as Evan Williams because I just returned from Kentucky and Tennessee, where I went to the Evan Williams Bourbon Distillery. So had bourbon on the mind. I did not have any in my system at that point last night, although it kind of sounded like it. So it was just kind of stuck in my head that Evan Williams was one of the Dodger relievers. Not Evan Williams. It is Evan Phillips. And Jeff from Locked On Dodgers is reminding me that Landon Knack will be rewarded with a plane ticket back to Oklahoma City. Great point. It's unfortunate for now. He might be back as the season moves on. Probably not. As the Dodgers are getting healthy, the options are increasing, and that's a good spot to be. It feels like everyone's feeding off each other and getting into some rhythm and finding their way again, growing the confidence. This is all very good stuff. So I don't know that it's a major disappointment that Landon Knack is going to be sent back down because that could mean that Walker Buehler is right around the corner potentially. Now, Walker Buehler is a huge question mark. We don't know what he's going to bring, but I think we'd like to see it. We'd like the opportunity to criticize and evaluate what Walker Buehler has. Because last time we saw him, it wasn't all that good, but I think he's still got good stuff. He just has to be able to produce it. There's a lot of talk about what will happen with Robo now that River Ryan is getting Tommy John. I'm so bummed by that. That is just a swift kick to the you-know-what. Because River Ryan was really good, and I thought they were going to pitching really well, rather. I thought they were going to have a spot for him in the postseason in the rotation because his stuff was just live and had good command and was, very effective. So to hear that he's got to have Tommy John and is going to be down for the rest of this season, all of next season, so we won't see him until 2026. So therefore, I had to write his name down because I will forget. I will forget his name. Just like Emmett Sheehan. Almost forgot his name many times. I haven't forgot Tony Gonsolin, but we're not going to see him anytime soon. Dustin May, not going to see him anytime soon. These are all guys that I wish we had, but we don't. It's unfortunate. But the good news there is that the Dodgers pitching coffers are deep. We will take the first break and come back and hit the Diamond Dogs list and tell you whose home run was the most impressive tonight. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. The Locked On Everydayers know to find Jeff and Vince there with the Locked On Dodgers daily podcast. And we appreciate you coming here to Locked On for your source for your team every day. All right, tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Ibotta. Are you taking that dream vacation this summer as it's winding down? Still trying to cram one in before the kids go back to school, but dreading what it will cost? With Ibotta, you get cash back on all your purchases, so you could spend more time making memories at the end of this summer and less time dreaming about them. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. You earn hundreds of dollars on items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys, so you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, you earn cash back that you can withdraw to your bank account. Cold hard cash. You can also send it to PayPal or gift cards. Simply add offers in the app, upload the receipt, and voila, the money is yours. It's time you joined over 50 million users who go and download Ibotta and use it to save money and earn cash back every time they shop. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta and using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app and start earning cash back and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Ibotta, IBOTTA, in the Google Play Store or the App Store, and use the code Locked On MLB. Tonight's show also brought to you by FanDuel. You know, I love sports, and when they're not sportsing the way that we want them to, which is not right now, because they're sportsing like crazy right now. But if you're going through a lull, let's say you're not necessarily into this time of year when it comes to the dog days of summer and baseball, although we're heading towards September quickly, and the playoffs will be here before you know it. And you're not necessarily into preseason football. You're more of a regular season guy. Well, then you go to FanDuel, download the app because they have all sorts of things for you to dream up when it comes to bets, and you can get in the mood with regard to paying attention to sports anytime you want. This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head to FanDuel.com and start making the most of the end of your summer as we head towards the baseball playoffs. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. All right, Dodgers with a 7-2 win. Gavin Stone, his 10th win of the season versus 5 losses. Again, he had a nice slider for his first strikeout, a couple of changes, and then 3 four-seamers to set the side down in order, striking out the side in the 4th, which was really nice to see. And you can also go across the ledger and look at the Brewers stat for runners in scoring position. They did manage 1, but 1 for 7 all in all. So the Dodgers did a very nice job of keeping them down. Again, this game never felt like it was in doubt at all. Good command, good control, a lot of confidence on the mound, confidence at the plate. A 5-run 4th was awesome. So let's get to the Diamond Dogs list, where we have all of these home runs the Dodgers produced tonight, but didn't come all in the 5th. For number 5, or the 4th rather, for number 5, Will Smith's home run, a 2-out homer in the 2nd, a solo shot for number 16, traveled 417 feet, and it feels like Will Smith is starting to find some life again. Saw that nice job of pulling the hands in and making good contact, staying tight the way Will Smith does when he's going well. For number 4, Shohei Ohtani, another no-doubter. And as much as I thought the Gavin Lux's home run was sweet to see in front of friends and family. The Shohei Ohtani home run was an absolute blast. And this is when I love Shohei at his best, because he's not that super cocky guy there that flaunts it and flosses and all of that. But he hits that ball with such ease. And it is absolutely no doubt that it is a home run. And he has to watch it for at least a second or two because it is crushed. This one went 413 feet for number 37 and came in the third inning. But yeah, it was an impressive shot to say the least. And I just loved the way he it looks just effortless. And that's the way it goes when everything is working in rhythm and in sequence and the timing is right. It looks absolutely effortless. And I thought that home run was prototypical classic Shohei Ohtani. For number 3 on the Diamond Dogs list, Gavin Lux had a home run in the 4th. It also traveled 413 feet. It made it 4-1. It's his 7th blast of the year. And it was nice to see that he did it, just down the road just up the road from his hometown of Kenosha. For number 2, Kike, a sac fly. He at that point was the only Dodger who had not gotten a hit. I'm like, whatever, put the ball in play. Scrappy. I love that. Getting runs, plating guys, adding some insurance, even with a sac fly. That to me is the kind of stuff I don't feel like the Dodgers have all the time, but lately it's been there. Scrappy hitters, good approaches, making contact, putting the ball in play. All of those things equal wins and confident, comfortable wins. Again, that came in the 4th and it made it 5-1. And for number 1, Andy Pages, a 2-run home run in the 4th that made it 7-1. It was his 9th, just inside the foul pole down the left field line. So let's say the foul pole is 342 feet. Maybe it traveled 343 feet, 344 feet. His first home run since June 18th. It is the picture that I used on the thumbnail for the show tonight on YouTube. But it's classic Andy Pages lunging, swinging way too hard, way too big a swing, kind of the opposite of what Will Smith did today. Compact, tight, hands to the ball. Pages is like stretched out, cranked over, but he has the hands in the right place and he swings the bat hard. I just wish he could incorporate a different swing, like a 2-strike swing, a make contact swing. He doesn't have that. Occasionally, I've mentioned it when he does. I haven't seen it in a while, probably early June. It was the last time we saw anything like that from him. His swings lately have just been really big, like all home run swings. He's still producing hits. His average is still good. So I'm a little critical on him because I feel like he is a good hitter, but could be a much, much better hitter in spite of being very young. His batting average at this point, 248. His slug is like 697. So, or not his slug, his OPS. So his slug is 390, his on-base percentage 307. Those are all very respectable numbers. I just wish his defense in center field was a little better. And I think that answers the question I was asking yesterday as to why the Dodgers went and got Kevin Kiermaier, because they've optioned Outman back to Oklahoma City because his offense was non-existent. Like Kiermaier's offense is as bad, if not worse. The guy's had 2 hits since he showed up with the Dodgers, but 7 sacrifices. I like that. That's something to be proud of because we don't see a lot of that, although we're seeing more of that. And that's another aspect of this team that is surprising, yet entertaining, exciting, encouraging as far as putting the ball in play and making things happen. But I still don't completely understand the move. The only thing that makes any sense is that Andy Pages is not a great defender. And Kiermaier's a left-handed hitter, Pages a right-handed hitter. They got some sort of platoon going on, probably like they'll have when Max Muncy comes back at third base. They'll platoon him with Kike. And it'll all be hopefully good, rosy. But yeah, Kiermaier's batting average is terrible. So I understand, I think, why they got him, just for a defensive outfielder and, to go towards this playoff run. I don't know that he'll be around. Will he be around in the playoffs? Are they going to keep him? Will they have room for him on the roster when Max comes back? I don't know. That's a big question. We'll have to wait and see. Andy Pajas has got to be better defensively. That ball that he kicked away today should have been caught. Could have been caught. Wasn't an error, but was not pretty. That was ugly. Dodgers put up 13 hits tonight for 7 runs versus 6 hits and 2 runs for the Brewers for win number 71. After the break, we'll get into a little bit more about what made Gavin Stone's performance tonight so dominant and so impressive. So stick around for that. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. Of course, Locked On is your source for your team every day. We appreciate you everydayers, making us a part of your daily routine. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers podcast also brought to you by SupplyHouse. Get supplies from the site that is made for skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the website, the reliable way on a website to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right and in a more efficient manner, because you can order that stuff online and they'll ship it right to your door. You can shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered to your front door with fast shipping from coast to coast. You need help with an order. Maybe you don't understand how this part goes with that part, or they have a new part and it's better. It works better than the old part. Well, they have an expert support staff there, an industry leading service from the friendliest folks in the business, and they will give you the opportunity. Something we don't get all that often now when we call it into numbers is the opportunity to talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free trade masters program. Every trade master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Gavin Stone gets the win tonight for the Dodgers, his first since June something. It's been quite a while since Gavin Stone has gotten a win. I believe 6 outings. So this is snapping a 6-game, not losing streak, but a no decision streak for Gavin Stone. Again, he went 5, just 1 run on 3 hits. But the thing that was probably, for me anyway, really nice to see was the first called strikes versus swinging strikes. He had 16 called strikes. That means he's getting ahead early versus 8 swinging strikes, and then foul balls 25. Don't love that. That means they were getting a fair amount of good contact, but to produce 6 Ks along with that was real nice. And then just 12 balls in play. So he really was getting ahead of guys and, striking them out in spite of them making a fair amount of contact with the foul balls. That's a fairly high number there when you look at that stat line. The called strikes being high at 16 is awesome. Swinging strikes 8 is good, but foul balls, there's not a lot of swing and miss, if you will. So balls being made contact with at 25 is a little bit, sometimes those turn into base hits, A guy stands up there. We saw it last night. Mookie Betts had a nice at bat where he was a 9-pitch at bat. And I believe that was the double. He fouled off a couple and then ground out a double. So that's nice to see. Anytime a guy can get up there and battle foul balls off and find one they like, it helps the batter get confidence. It helps the pitcher, or doesn't help. It causes the pitcher to lose a little confidence. We've seen it happen time and time again where they're like, what else do I have to do here? I'm throwing every pitch in my holster, everything in my arsenal, and this guy just keeps fouling them off. And generally, those turn into base hits quite frequently. So a great outing from Gavin Stone. I will hope we can get more of that, because this starting rotation now is starting to feel again like we expected it to early in the season. Glasnow looked good last time out. Kershaw looked good yesterday. Gavin Stone tonight. Who do we have tomorrow? Because that would be great to win this series. It's a 4-gamer, so they can only win the series tomorrow. They will not be able to sweep it. They have a matinee at like 11 on Thursday. And as of right now, the Dodgers starter is still undecided. So we could have a bullpen day. Maybe they'll send, as Jeff mentioned, Landon Knack back to Oklahoma City. Maybe that means they pull Robo back up there to get another start. I don't know. It feels like there's plenty of options. Something I heard yesterday about options that I absolutely love is that Dave Roberts is seriously considering about making Kopech the closer. So he would work at him in the 6th and the 7th inning when he first arrived right after the trade deadline. Then the last couple of days he's had him in there in that setup role in the 8th. And let's be honest, he has been dominant every time he has gone out, and he brings the heat 100+ miles an hour. So to put him in as the closer and secure that role and say, you are our closer, is absolutely what the Dodgers need. And then you make Daniel Hudson the setup guy. I got nothing against Hudson. I think he's been very good, but I feel like Kopech has more. The tools with Kopech are greater. Kopech. More than anything, he has that closer mentality, energy, excitement, attitude. These are all things that a closer needs, and Kopech has all of them. So I loved hearing that Dave Roberts is really seriously considering making Kopech the Dodger closer moving forward. Amen. 7-2 win the final tonight. The Dodgers have now won 5 in a row. Again, it's win number 71 for them. Let's look up and down the scoreboard tonight here on my daughter's 13th birthday. She calls it her golden birthday because she's 13 on August 13th. So had a nice dinner out at a place we call the Spaghetti Factory here in Southern California. I always feel like their food it's pretty good. It's not great. It's pretty good, but she loves it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we went early because I knew the game was starting early, but I wish you could see my notes. I'm going to show you my notes. My notes are literally on the back of the Spaghetti Factory menu because I was watching the game on my phone with an earpiece in and taking notes in a crayon on the back of the menu. So August 13th, my daughter turns 13. Very cool. Tonight, the Diamondbacks are losing to the Rockies 3-2, and the Padres have a 2-0 lead over the Pirates. Something that Oral said yesterday, and this will be my final thought for the night. Jeff, that's dark. Jeff says, my dead grandpa turned 104 today. Nothing golden about that. That's the heavenly birthday, I believe is what they call that. And, here's the thing on people that are passed on, and hopefully they lived a long, full life. And I will say this, that, when you get to be in your late 90s or past 100, they're in a better place. It's tough. It's tough in your late 90s. Let me tell you, I have experience. But the fact of the matter is that the Oral brought this up last night. I thought it was kind of an interesting point. The Padres and the Diamondbacks are still red hot, but how long can they keep this up? Can they keep this going? Especially now that the Dodgers are starting to find their rhythm again, find their mojo. I don't know that they can keep it up. I like that. They've played this good. Like the Padres have won 17 of 20. Diamondbacks right there in that same world. And they're still 4 back, right? So that's got to be a little discouraging. It's like, what else do we have to do? We are red hot and we're still 4 back. And the Dodgers have kind of been in a tailspin prior to this 5-game win streak. So the Dodgers left the door open a little bit and they couldn't quite get through it. The Dodgers kept kind of closing it on their foot. Like, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. And here we are starting to find some rhythm and momentum, and that is beautiful. So suck on that, San Diego and Arizona. So yeah, the opponents for the Padres and probably the Diamondbacks for that matter are going to get better, as Jeff has pointed out here. Jeff's my producer today. Thank you, Jeff. Anything else? I'm getting ready to wrap up. Are you guys coming on later tonight? What's going on? Dodgers with a 7-2 win. They've won 5 in a row. Undecided on tomorrow's starter for game 3 of the series. The Brewers will send who to the mound? I was there and now I'm gone. Okay, now why can't I find it? Maybe by now, by the time I finally get there, the Dodgers will have named a starter. Probably not. Frankie Montas starting for the Brewers. He's a good pitcher, so that'll be tough for the Dodgers. But hey, they're rolling right now. Although Montas is 5-8 with a 5.10 ERA. Yuck. That might be an easy win for the Dodgers the way they're playing right now. All right, 7-2 the final, win number 71. Thank you guys for chiming in, for joining me, for watching. Always appreciated. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. I am your host, Pete Fox, and I will be back with you tomorrow. Don't forget, you can also download us wherever you find your podcasts. Wherever you find Jeff and Vince on the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast, it's on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Again, have a good night. We'll talk tomorrow.